We're back for part 2 of Jedi Intelligence Analysis Training, class of 2021. We're going to jump right back into this in number 3, complete the rule for the translation, enter the pre-image coordinates. Actually, we already have the pre-image coordinates in there for you. Find the coordinates of each point in the image. That's going to be this part over here. Graph the image, label each vertice, call the building T. So let's get this in here. So we need to go to our equation. And I'm going to go to font size 18. This is showing my recent use of a fraction. That is right over there. I'm going to want this. I've selected this for my color for right now. I want that to go away. But click that fraction. And then I guess I got to be in there and click on the fraction. I got my color. I got the font, 1, going to arrow it down to the bottom, 3, and we're good. Now, don't really like where that is at. Let's see if we can move that. Let's bring that back in. Yeah, there we are. And I want to move that up a little bit, get it better into those parentheses. And I want to be on the left here too, because actually I need to come out of this and behind it. So I just arrowed to the right a couple of times, and I'm going to put A in there because it's basically 1/3 of A. That's our rule. And then we're going to have the same thing over here, pretty much. I need to go to my equation, get my fraction. Dang it, that keeps coming in so low. There's 1/3. This time it's going to be B. Now I just got to move that up into the parentheses a little bit better right there. And there's our rule. So just taking advantage of the work we did in the last one. Don't worry about not having seen this before. We didn't do the dilations on the Ingenuity work this year. It's one of the reasons I'm doing it for you here. So now we just have to follow our rule. And I'm going to show a little work in here. I got my pen out that I'm going to draw with. And I can erase. I don't know where those little dots came from. They're not erasing right now, but we'll live. And so I have, for point A, we're going to get A prime, this one right here. And it's going to be 1/3 times 9, which gives me 3. And you can use the text thing to get it in there. I'm just going to write the 3 for right now. B is -3. So that's 1/3 of -3, which is, if you think of it, it's -3/3, which is -1. I could have shown this is 9/3, which reduces to, boy, my writing is bad at times, which reduces to 3. And that's my point right there. And I got that, and then we can go graph it. I'd do it for the next one. So A is 15. I got 1/3 of A, so I got 1/3 of 15. That should come out to 5. 15/3 is 5. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So that's a 5. I know I'm writing these. You can use your Cami or whatever. You can put your work in here for me over this little space, please. What else we got here? Oh, yeah. And I got another 1/3 of -3. Well, I know that's just the same thing as this up there. So that's just going to be 1/3 times -3, and that's going to give me good old -1. And I got that. I'm going to let you get points C and D. I got to start letting you do some work at some point, but it's exactly the same as what we did on those first 2 points. And then let's go graph these. So make sure you got your points written down. I'm going to write mine down here really quick. A is 3, -1, B, A prime, B prime, I should say, 5, -1. And we're going to come down here to our graph, and we're going to put those in. So I'm going to do the same thing we were doing before. And I'm going to go to Shapes. I got it on 2. I'm selecting Circle. I want a different color this time, so let's go purple. And I've got A is at 3, -1. So there's my origin. So that's 3, -1. And let's get a point right there. That looks pretty good to me. And I went to the select, annotations, click on that, copy it, paste it down. I can never figure out why or where this paste stuff. And I need to go to 5, -1. So there's 5, -1. Let's get that right like that. Okay, and we got that in there. I can put my points in, so that's my text box. What was I using over here? It doesn't tell me. Interesting. So I'm going to come back over here. I don't want blue. I want a little bit bigger. I think those were 18 or 24s. We'll go to 18. I was doing purple, so let's go to this purple. On that, there was a couple more shades of purple on the lines, but we'll live close enough here. And then I need to get, what is that? It's going to be Shift A prime. Don't forget your primes. You lose point if you don't have the primes in there. That looks like a little lighter purple than the other one is. Let's go over here. Let's get my B prime in there. Don't forget those primes. Now, like I said, I'm going to let you get those other ones, but I'm going to show you a little trick here on how you can check to make sure you're doing them right. First off, again, this one should look like a shrunk down version of this one when it's all done. Okay. Second off, this is one of the properties that you can test it with. If I'm going to use my lines right here, it doesn't matter what color it is. Let's use the yellow, just use something different. I'm going to go to the origin. I'm going to go through A, and I'm going to go through A prime, and notice they line up. I got the origin, A prime, and A are all right in a line. Okay? Now, I can go to my select tool, and I'm going to select that endpoint. And why isn't it moving? There we go. And I go to B, I put it on the B over here, and notice it's going right through B prime. So when you get your point C, you can bring that down here, and you can check it, and your C prime should be right on that line. Your D prime will be right on that line, and you'll know you did them right. Okay? Plus, like I said, it'll look like a miniaturized version of the red one. Don't forget to put the name of it in the center with the big letter like we did there, and move on. Okay, so you've developed your map for the first two compounds. Now we need to get the other ones. So we've got a little bit of transforma figured out. We need to get a little bit more of it figured out. So on this one here, we have a 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation. Look up your rule for counterclockwise rotation, put it in there. You know, A, B, opposite of A, opposite of B, A, opposite of B, B, opposite of A, opposite of B, opposite of A, that sort of thing. I think they give the rules in X and Y's, just change them to A's and B's. Notice you're going to be copying your points from this first one. So we had 3, -1, 5, -1 in there. You're going to be coming down here, text. So that's A prime 3, -1. You have that right down here. So that's going to be, I got my purple, let's go gold here. That's going to be 3, -1. That's a little more space than I need. That looks better. And then I can come down here and I can do this one again too. So that's going to be 5, -1. And I got my points in there. And then you'll put the next ones in and you'll do that. For this one, when you get down here, notice, whoops, let me get my draw out. A prime, B prime, those will come down to right here. Same thing happens again. These come down to right here. So the image for one is the pre-image for the next transformation. So the rest of these, you're just following the rules you wrote. Now remember, when you go to graph these, if you end up in the stream, the forest, the lake, the mountain, you've made a mistake, to check something. My points are a little off here. I get obsessive about this stuff. You can see these points aren't quite perfect. They're a little below the lines there. See if we get that a little better on the intersection. Those look better now. Okay. So we're back up here. Get your rule in there. You did rotations on the Edgenuity, so you should be able to do it here. If you're having problems, come up and ask a question. We'll get it figured out. Number 5 here. So I got your little north, south, east, west in here, just to give you a little bit of reminder. So that's what that's there for. Now, just remember, this is X, this is Y. So when I say 17 units west, west is this direction. Is that moving in the X direction or the Y direction? Positive or negative? If it's moving in a negative direction, it's minus. It's moving in a positive direction, it's plus. If it's moving along the X-axis, it's X plus or minus. Along the Y, it's Y plus or minus. And then you've got 6 units north. There's north. That means you're moving this way on that. That's very readable. If you're moving that way, does that mean plus or minus with the X or the Y? Get your rule in here. You're just going to have X plus something or X minus something. The same thing over here, Y plus something or Y minus something. Get the right one in. Follow the rule just like you did on the Edgenuity. Last one. Bring it down here. Okay? So, again, for step 5, the image there is the pre-image on the last one. Notice you've got 2 to 3 primes. This is 3 primes to 4 primes on there. This is a reflection about the x-axis. Get your rule in there, just like you used in the on the Edgenuity. Fill in your points, follow the rule, get your new points, go in there, graph them, make sure it's a different color, label the buildings, same thing, I forgot to mention it, graph it, label the points. Make sure you're using the triple primes. Make sure you're using the double primes when you're putting those on there. If you get those wrong, you're going to lose points, so don't miss those. And we're getting near the end of this video. These are going on longer than I thought. And so that's all the graphing and all the points. We're going to come back here and show you how to use these lengths. This is some of the work that you did in the similarity before. So we're going to find some of these lengths. We've done it before. And then you'll put it in here. I'll give you a little guide on that. And bada bing, bada boom. We'll be done with that in a few here. So that's part 2 of our video. There will be a part 3 training class coming up here really quick for my young Jedi agents. Thank you for your help.